We interrupt our programming right now to cover some breaking news that we've been looking at all morning long. A fire in Lakeland, now the result of a small plane that crashed into a building there.
Jacqueline Ingles is on the scene right now and joins us live with the very latest on this breaking news. Jacqueline?
Well, we're here off of Allen K. Breed Highway in Lakeland. I'm going to show you here behind me. The factory, it is a plastics factory, is located right behind these gates. They're not allowing us in right now, but I can tell you that multiple fire crews are on scene working this fire. We do have our helicopter up getting shots of that for you. We'll bring that to you as soon as we can. What we know right now is that at the time this happened, a little bit after 9 o'clock this morning, there was absolutely no one inside this plastic factory. At this point, the size of the fire, the flames and smoke is not known. But in the past half an hour, the FAA has been notified by the Lakeland Fire Department that a plane has crashed into this factory. Now, we are just 3 miles south of Linder Regional Airport. At this point, we do not know if the plane took off from there or was headed there. I can tell you that in 10 minutes, the Lakeland Fire Department is expected to brief the media right here out front. We will try to bring that to you live. And as soon as we have more information, you can check our website, abcactionnews.com, or again, we will have it for you on air. For now, though, we're live in Lakeland. Jacqueline Ingles, ABC Action News.
Jacqueline, we did hear that there were witnesses that saw this plane in distress.
Oh, that's right, Dan. What we're hearing is that there were 2 women who saw this plane flying somewhere in the vicinity, saying that the plane was in distress. What that means at this point, we just don't know. Lakeland Police Department and Lakeland Fire looking into that, trying to speak more with those women right now. Now, I want to show you back behind these gates. We're about 3/4 of a mile from the building that is on fire. We are being kept back because, as you heard, there are volatile chemicals inside this old plastic factory that if they do not stay wet, they will explode. Now, the main concern with these chemicals that are coming out, any smells, is not for people who are far away like I am or other residents in this area. It is for those firefighters who are up close and potentially breathing that in. And as you heard from Janelle with Lakeland Fire, this is something that they're going to be out doing, trying to put out all day. That's how many chemicals are inside of this building. So firefighters still putting out hotspots right now as we speak. They have not even entered into that building, but from what we know, it was empty. No one was inside. But because they can't go in, they cannot even approach that plane at this point to see how many people were on board, if there are, in fact, any survivors.
We want to check back in with Jacqueline Ingles. She's on the scene. She was just at a news conference. She's out there with investigators, and we want to check in with her now to see if she's learned some new information. Jacqueline?
Well, Dia, right now, I mean, firefighters out here, from what we're told, have their hands full. This is going to be a day-long effort as they continue to fight hotspots. That main fire is out, though. The concern, though, as you said, we're learning very hazardous chemicals inside this former plastic plant that if you do not keep them wet, these will explode. Because of that fact, these firefighters, hazmat crews, they have to stay on the perimeter of this building. They have not even entered as of yet, and we're going on close to 2 hours now. This is also what's hindering finding out who was on board that aircraft. They cannot get close enough to determine even if there are any survivors. So as you can imagine, difficult scene in there for them as firefighters, you know, continue trying to contain this, keep people safe, but obviously you want to be able to get to those survivors if they are in fact still alive, if they're hurt. So we are waiting for an update on that. And as you said, we had heard that there were 2 witnesses, 2 females, that saw this plane in the area and reported that this plane was in distress. Now, Lakeland Fire Department says they are going to be back out here in another 15 to 20 minutes to give us an update on what is going on inside. We are not allowed even to get close. We are 3/4 of a mile away from this building because of those explosive chemicals. So we will bring that press conference to you live. In the meantime, though, we are tweeting live here from the scene. We're also online at abcactionnews.com. And we also have a crew that is now over at that airport trying to speak with someone, find out the identity of the people on board and how many were on board that plane.
Jacqueline Ingles has been working to try to get some information from investigators on the scene. We do want to check in back with her now to find out what she's learned. Jacqueline?
Well, Dia, we do have some minor updates coming in, but right now I want to get you right to the spokesperson for the Lakeland Fire Department, Janelle Vaslow. Janelle, you're out here now. Tell me, you said you did have some minor updates for us. What is that?
We do. Well, we know that it's a confirmed plane crash with 2 souls on board. We've confirmed the type of plane it was. It's a Piper Apache A-23. Seems to be from the local flight school, so it was the instructor and student on board. Now, we don't know if it's a fatality. We haven't been able to recover any patients or bodies yet because we haven't sent any firefighters in. As you know, they're still keeping the building wet to keep those chemicals wet because one of them is explosive if not maintained wet.
Now, Janelle, are you hearing about any frustrations from these firefighters? I mean, obviously, if there are people there that are injured, that can be saved, not being able to go to them, frustrating.
Well, they're highly trained for situations just like these, so they know exactly what they're doing. Most of them right now are going into recovery because it's a very exhausting high-temperature situation, so they're getting rehydrated, while Polk County Fire's hazmat team is entering the building to do reconnaissance on the type of chemical so they can come back and formulate a plan of attack.
Okay, so just to be clear, we do have people now that are actually entering to assess whether or not those firefighters can go in there.
Correct, and that would be the highly trained hazmat team.
Now, as for the people on board that plane, do we have any identification on them yet, ages, anything of that?
That we don't have available to us yet.
All right, thank you, Janelle, so much for joining us live. That was Janelle Vaslow with Lakeland Fire Department giving us an update there. As you heard, we do know that there were 2 people on board the airplane that crashed into this former plastic factory. Still, they cannot get to that plane, those firefighters, because of the volatile chemicals inside. The good news, though, we do have workers that are going in to assess whether or not those firefighters can go in, so there is progress there. As I said earlier, we have another crew at the airport working to get the identities of the people on board that plane. We know that it was an instructor now and a student. Dan and Dia?